What's up, it's your boy L.Dre. In this video, I'm gonna be sharing the secret to how I went from living in my mom's garage, that's the leftovers of my old studio setup, to living in my own home and being a successful music producer with over 100 million streams and all that jazz. I always knew that I wanted a career in music, so through high school, I never took like the SATs or any of these tests. I never had any experience with any other field. I did go to college for music production, but it was really only because my mom said that I should probably go to school. In 2018, when I graduated, I realized, hold on now, I'm like $30,000 in debt with these student loans. I don't have a backup plan, and I really gotta make something happen. And in the beginning, it was like so difficult for my brain to just become consistent with it. Like I just couldn't figure out how. I was too lazy. I love TV and I love Netflix too much. It was just a lot to deal with. And it wasn't until I read these two books that changed my life forever and flipped the switch in my brain that put me on a path to success. So I'm gonna separate this video into two parts to showcase how these two books played a key pivotal role into the success that I have now. Part 1, unveiling the power of the mind. So like I said, there was a switch in my brain that kind of just shifted my mindset and put me on the path to success. And that wasn't until I was introduced to The Secret by Rhonda Byrne, which introduced me to the law of attraction. And if you don't know what the law of attraction is, I'll give you like the dumbed down version. Pretty much whatever you put out into the universe, you get back. Everything in the universe is made up of energy, including your thoughts and your emotions. So if you consistently focus on positive thoughts and positive emotions, you will get positive things in return. But if you continuously focus on negative emotions and negative thoughts, you'll continue to get negative things in return. So once I realized how powerful thoughts are and how I'm the master of my own thoughts and my thoughts can shape my reality, that is when the shift happened. I realized I was making all these excuses. Oh, I don't have time to make beats. I wasn't really trying my hardest and I was thinking negative. I'll post something on Instagram and it wouldn't get a certain amount of views. So I'd be like, oh, I'm not gonna make it. Like, that's just how I thought. So with this book and that first simple concept, that got me on the path to where I started posting on Instagram videos of me making beats every day for like pretty much 2 years straight. I talk about this all the time. And every time I'd post something and it doesn't do well, I would always tell myself, as long as I keep going, as long as I keep working, something good is gonna come from this. Over the course of time, the videos started doing better. I started feeling better. I started YouTube. Every now and then a video would hit. An Instagram post would hit, I'd sell a beat, this and that. So after reading that book and just kind of realizing that it's really up to me, my thoughts, my emotions, and what I put out there, that really inspired me to just be the most positive person ever. And although I still doubted myself a lot, I just kept the message of if I keep doing good things, if I keep doing good to myself, eventually something will pay off. Another big thing I got from this book is focusing on positive outcomes rather than fears. So when you're just afraid or you're feeling negative about something, like that energy is out there. So setting goals, for example, if you set goals but you're worried about not reaching those goals more than you are excited to reach those goals, those things start to add up. So besides thoughts and feelings, another big thing I got from this book was just the overall visualization of your future and what you want, and coming up with goals and all this kind of stuff is something I didn't think about too much, because I don't know about you, but like I remember being younger and I'll see like, oh, invest into a Roth IRA retirement account, and if you keep investing in it, it might be millions by the time you're 65, and you're just like, 65? What? I didn't really like to think so far ahead of my future because it was just unconceivable. But with this book, it really taught me that like visualizing things, creating a mood board, and just like picturing how you want your life to go or picturing how you want certain things to play out is part of that positive energy. I always wanted a Tesla. Every night before bed, I would be on the Tesla website configuring my car. It was just like motivation for me. And I mean, obviously, eventually I got the Tesla, but I was able to focus on something I wanted for myself. That was a good thing that would make me happy. And that was just one of the things that I would think about when I was down, when I felt like giving up, or if a video did less, or if a song didn't get that many streams, or whatever it was. That was something I was able to hold on to and kind of vision for the future. If I worked hard, I could get this. Start setting some goals and just truly think about them every day. That's something that really, really helped me. And before we get on to the next book, I do want to mention gratitude and belief in this book, and just overall faith is another thing that really helped me on this path to success for sure. Because it's easy to get so caught up in the future that you are no longer grateful for what you have now. But when you're not grateful for what you have now, that kind of leads to negative thoughts. Being grateful for what you have can help you get what you don't have and what you want. And just faith, bro, just belief in yourself and just overall faith that you can achieve whatever goals are out there for you is huge. All the concepts in this book led me to just having this devout faith into myself. And that's how I've lived. And I believe that is how I got to where I am today. Now, that all being said, if you read The Secret, I will warn you that it does get a little silly, right? So the reason why I bundle these books together is because sometimes in The Secret, they're kind of like, oh, if you don't want to be fat, don't think fat thoughts. It's not like, oh, I'm going to think that I'm healthy and I'll just be healthy. But in the next book, which is Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, it really gave me practical steps to take the law of attraction and convert it into something that's real and also real when it came to making money. So without further ado, let's get into part 2. Applying the law of attraction into business and success. We're getting into the money section, all right. I know this is really what you all wanted to hear, but real quick, I do want to give a little word from our sponsor of today's video, L.Dre. I'm testing out something new. So right now you can click the link in my bio and I will be doing one-on-one personal calls with you. During this 30-minute call, we can discuss whatever it is that you are looking for to hear from me. If you need help with your branding, if you need help with finding your own sound, all of that. We can pull up all your social media accounts. I can dissect everything for you, and you can pick my brain personally one-on-one so I can actually help the individuals out there who are genuinely serious in taking the advice that I would give them. This might not be available for long, but I just want to try it out and see what can come from this. So link in the description if you would like to book a 30-minute call with me. If you do it, I will see you then. Now, Think and Grow Rich. All right, Think and Grow Rich piggybacks off of The Secret for me because it discussed the law of attraction, but in a much more practical and actionable way. So with this book, it's all about having that burning desire to reach these riches and then coming up with practical strategies to get there. But it's not like a regular book. It's still like The Secret, where it's mostly about you and how you think, but now you have to actually start laying out some plans. Because I'll tell you, one of the first things that led to me making money after reading these books is simply, I used to call myself broke all the time, bro. Like, my sister would be like, oh, let's go buy some McDonald's. I'm like, I don't have McDonald's money, or I'm too broke to do this. My friends want to do that. I'm like, nah, I can't do that. I'm broke. I used to say it all the time. After reading these books, first thing I did was just erase broke out of my vocabulary. I started replacing my broke thoughts with rich thoughts. And it might sound like a fantasy, but no. I sell a lease for a beat for $25. I would be like, yo, hell yeah, I just got $25 from the beat. I'm rich, let's go. I just started thinking that way, and that was like a crazy change in my life. But once you have that desire for something, there's actually like a 6-step process to actually get what you desire. And I'm gonna lay it out for you right now. Number 1, specify the amount, whether that's the amount of money, amount of followers, amount of streams, whatever. Number 2, what are you gonna give in return? What are you willing to do to reach that, bro? You think you're just gonna say, hey, oh man, I would love $1 million, and it's just supposed to knock on your door and come to you? No, like, what do you plan to do to get that $1 million? Number 3, specify a date. This is what I'm talking about. It gets real specific. You want this amount and you're willing to do this by this date. Number 4, create a definite plan and start right away. So now you have the amount you want, you have what you're willing to do to get to that amount, you have the date that you want that amount by. So once you have the plan to get there, how could you fail? Number 5 is to write 1 through 4 in a statement, and 6 would be to read that statement every single day. I applied this specific thing to a certain degree. For example, this house I live in right now, if you're smart about renting a home, you have to make at least 3 times what your rent will cost. And I'd be like, okay, I'm looking around, $3,000 seems like a good rent for the type of house I want. So that means I need to be making $9,000 a month to afford a $3,000 a month home, which I know right now just sounds insane depending on where you live. But that was the first thing that started me with this, because at the time there was nothing more important to me than moving out of my garage. This was like mid 2020. My goal was to make that certain amount of money by January 2021 so that I could move out. And then I put a plan into action on how I could do that. I was doing YouTube, I started getting brand deals, I started doing all these things. But when I made my plan, the plan wasn't what happened. Like, don't expect for you to just draw out your life and it's gonna happen exactly that way. For some people, it does work that way, but for me, it didn't. At the time, my only plan was to just be consistent with what I was doing. I didn't really have a specific money-making thing, but what happened was that same time, TikTok came around, my song went viral, and then I did another video, I did Married Life, and that went viral because I was sampling things around Disneyland. Somehow Honda saw that, so then Honda hit me up to sample some sounds in their cars. They paid me like $6,000. And then right after that, Samsung hit me up to fly me out to CES, and they paid me like $9,000 for that. And then as my songs started going viral, I was releasing them on streaming platforms, and then my money from streaming was increasing. And then Steven Universe went viral, super viral, so that started increasing. And there was no way in hell I could have written down, okay, I'm gonna make this song that's gonna go viral on this platform. I'm gonna make this song that's gonna go viral. I'm gonna get this amount of money. None of that happened. But the way I think it went down is when I first started to plan these things out and realize how much money I needed, and realizing that that kind of money was possible to have, I think that is really what opened the door for all these opportunities to come in. Not to mention my determination and my faith in myself that I already learned from The Secret. But by simply coming up with a plan and coming up with an amount of money that I wanted by a specific time, because guess what? I was looking for houses from September all the way to December, bro. Denied, because this was like the pandemic time, and there was like 5 to 20 people for each house that I went to look at. Me and my girl, we were sad, bro. We kept falling in love with these houses that we toured, and we kept getting denied. But guess what? Here's the crazy thing. Because I wrote down in my goal that I needed all this by January, in January that following year, I ended up getting this house. I applied immediately, and I got the house in January of 2021. So that's when I realized, oh my God, it's the book, it's the plans, it's The Secret, it's Think and Grow Rich. Like, that's when I really realized all this shit was real, bro. Go read the book yourself though. It pretty much just taught me to take all that belief, all the positive thoughts, and just put it into actionable plans. And that is when I really started to see the benefits of this life that I was now privy to, because the rich people, bro, they know this stuff. This ain't a secret to them. It's time for you to do that shit, bro. Conclusion to my journey to success. It all boils down to this. These 2 books. The Secret taught me the law of attraction. Thoughts become things. Whatever you put out comes back. You could call it karma if you want. Simple concept. Think and Grow Rich took that concept and turned it into an actionable thing to make money, really, and to really have a successful career. All of that combined brought me to where I am today. And I will admit, I achieved like all of my goals, bro. When I was reading these books, I had a little note, but my main goals: move out of the garage, did it. Buy my mom a car. I didn't buy her a car because at the time it just wasn't the smartest decision. She already had a car. So I gave her $25,000. That's probably what I would have spent on a car. So I gave my mom $25,000. Buy a Tesla, did it. Model Y. Remember I told you earlier in the video, I was up on the Tesla website every night. Got the Tesla. So those were my main goals, and I knocked those out like first year of success, bro. My final goal on that list was to buy a house, but it gets tricky because I have an acquired taste for a home, and buying a house is just expensive. Like, I've been renting this place and it's been great. So yeah, I achieved all those goals, and I did get a little comfortable. So, you know, I recently read both of these books again to try to get me back on that path, because once you get comfortable and things start going the way you don't want them to go, you start thinking negatively. I had to recenter myself and read these books again. I'll leave the links to these books in the description. You can pick them up anywhere, but I will leave like my Amazon affiliate link if you want to buy them. But yeah, thanks for watching. If this was like an interesting video outside of my other videos, let me know if you want to see more personal growth type videos on my channel. Also hit the link in the description if you want to book a one-on-one call with your boy. And I'll end this with an inspiring quote that I've had on my Apple Reminders app remind me every day at 12 p.m. You are the master of your own thoughts. And I've been repeating that to myself 2-3 years now. Go out there and create the life you want to live. Peace.